we have Dylan here today, who is going to make our utility roll with us. These are the supplies we need to make the utility roll. You'll have your cotton canvas duck cut for you and finished. You'll have a few pins. I encourage you to keep these pins. You will have a spool of thread. You'll have cotton canvas twill, and you'll have a sewing machine needle. Here are the supplies that you stock here in the starter lab that you'll want to grab. You want to grab your chalk wheel. You want to make sure you've got a bobbin. You want to get your grid ruler, your scissors, and you do need a Sharpie. Your presser foot changes. There are a lot of different things you can do with the sewing machine and a lot of different fabrics you can work on, and different feet are necessary for those different things. To change this, you touch the lever at the back of the foot holder. There you go. This is actually great. There you go. There you go. Let's talk about the side wheel. Perfect. Now go ahead and turn that towards you a few times. You'll notice that the needle is going up and down. This is your hand crank that controls the needle's movement. You never turn the needle away from you. You always turn the side wheel towards you. Pull up the spool pin to your left.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
There you go.
Now, can you pull that little bit of thread out of the catch?
All right.
Excellent.
Let's go.
Now, can you direct this thread in this direction? Excellent. One of the most important things to know about threading a machine is that your thread is always to the back side of the spool. And I like to remember that by saying, thread's at the back, Jack. This is called a bobbin. If you could run this thread through this tension lever, it goes between this and this. And you're gonna feel it's a little bit tight to pull. That's because the machine is creating tension to guide your thread. Okay, so you wanna wind the thread through the tiny hole in the bobbin. You want the thread to go from the inside of the bobbin and this little thread tail to poke out of the bobbin. And then with one hand, you wanna hold it steady. And then continue to wind this about 15 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the reason that you go 15 times, it's so that the thread doesn't pull off when you put it onto the bobbin winding spindle. You want the spindle in the left position. Now, when you're ready to wind your bobbin, go ahead and, can you move that? Exactly. Go ahead and pull the hand wheel out. Can you go ahead and push down on the pedal? There you go. You'll notice that the threads are moving up and down, winding up and down on their own. This machine is designed to wind an even bobbin.
We're almost there.
We're almost up.
Oh, there you go. So I push it back in.
Pop it out and pop the hand wheel back in place. Remove the bobbin. Remove the thread from the tension lever.
Okay.
Now go ahead and cut the two threads. Now what you have are two separate spools of threads. Pull the hook cover down. Can you go ahead and pull this latch out? Pop these levers up. Pull this hook race ring out. And pull the hand wheel towards you just enough so that this looks like a half moon with the half moon on the left. Take the hook and put that back in place so it creates a circle. Perfect. Place the hook race ring back in place with the horn facing up. Excellent. Now pop your levers back in place. Hold the bobbin up with the thread facing down so it looks like a letter Q. Hold the bobbin case with the horn facing up. Go ahead and put that thread into the bobbin. Slide the thread through this small slot. Now go up underneath this tension and click it into place until you hear a click. There you go. Put the bobbin case into the hook race holder with the horn matching that notch.
Is it in or?
Push it.
There you go.
You want to make sure that the needle is at the highest position it can be at. So when you turn the hand wheel, always turn the hand wheel towards you. Right now, our presser foot is in the raised position. That's what you want. You want to see your needle at its utmost position. So your spool of thread is still on the pin, and the thread is still oriented at the back. Go ahead and lead this thread through your thread guide, which is numbered number 1. Can you guide your thread down through number 2, and the machine tells you to run it in a loop. So I need you to crank this hand wheel towards you until you see the bunny come up. Now from the right to the left, you want to get the thread to go through the ear of the bunny.
So that would be like this?
Yeah. So bring the thread back down and put it through that hook.
Well, there's number 4 right there.
Exactly. That's called the lower thread guide. Go ahead and guide the thread through the needle bar thread guide. You've got 2 of them. You've got one on the right and one on the left. When you're sewing with one thread, you use the needle bar thread guide on the left. Go ahead and thread, and you always thread from the front to the back. You've done it perfectly. The thread is nice and taut, it's through the eye of the needle, and it's not twisted around. Now the next step, go ahead and bring your hand around and guide the thread through this notch and down so that the thread comes under and comes back this way. Just bring your hand around, go through that notch.
This notch, okay.
Exactly. You want your thread oriented to the back. It's at about, right now, 2 o'clock. Can you go ahead and take your left hand and very gently hold that thread with your left hand. You want play with this thread because you need a little bit of looseness to go down and get the other thread. So can you do that? Perfect. Now with your right hand, can you crank that hand wheel towards you? Because it's your friend. And come back up. Now watch what the thread does underneath. Keep going, crank it all the way up. Oh, there you go. See that thread is running underneath? Keep cranking, and pull. Now you're here, go ahead and pull. There you go. You've got your thread from the bottom to the top. And I like to take something like a seam ripper with my right hand and just swipe it underneath there to get that bobbin thread out. What you want to see now are 2 threads together, one from the top, one from the bottom, and you want them both oriented at 2 o'clock. Can you close up this cover?